All right, amazing. So, this 30 minutes together today, we just want to set many of you up with a system that is going to be both what we call sustainable and scalable for you. We've called this 30 minutes together the support of team walkers. And what we mean, the difference by team walkers and team runners, is a pace that you are choosing to do in what we call your season. Now, we often talk and train about looking at your life in general in about 90-day cycles and seasons. We do that as coaches. We've done that for years and years as pastors. I'm probably looking at friends on the other side of the world in Canada who probably understand seasons more than anyone else understands seasons. And it shocked us as Australians to actually realize how much preparation needs to go into each season. And when you're in a season, you're thinking about the next season. So if you know winter is coming, usually in fall, you're preparing for that season and vice versa. So just give me a wave as we just talk a little bit through your business and your seasons. Give us a wave if you've had a chance to watch our video on why we are helping people pace out their business. Did you get onto dreamteam.community and have a look at walker, runner, okay, and sprinter? Perfect. If you haven't had a chance to do that, we're going to show you again one more time where some of these tools are so that you can really understand. But today we're just going to speak to those who are walking out this business in the nooks and crannies of your everyday life. And there'll be those on in the next 25 minutes who are saying, no, I'm going to give a 90-day run, like a 90-day focus to this business. And I really want to set up a strong foundation. Those of you that are walking, some of you have already been running and now you're walking again because you already set that foundation. Or now this call is an opportunity for you to bring someone new in that doesn't want to run like you, for example, but wants the support to learn how to walk out this LifeWave business amidst a whole lot of other things that's going on for their life as well. So the first thing we want to say to you in terms of walking out this business is you are still going to essentially need the same tools you would need as if you were going to run for 90 days. You do want to have yourself set up to walk. And in fact, I would say nearly more than if you were running, you want to not freeze in the things you don't have accessible to you. The mentor that really is our full upline in this business, who first came into the patching business, she said, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, right? So you can dive super deep into all the things you have to do, as opposed to, I'm just going to start sharing and I'm going to learn as I go. So the few tools that we want you to have in place so that you can just share on the go are really important tools, because you could start by wanting to tell everyone about LifeWave but not know what to say or how to say it. If you can write this down, and hopefully you'll be taking notes in these calls, you will hear us always say, though, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah.
Right? You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So your effectiveness is not only based on what you say and whether you said it right. It's all about actually the lean in that you have and the excitement that you have and the passion that you already show. But if any of you already have felt like you've said the wrong thing, it's never wrong. It's just that it may not have been heard right. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
some of you that are not new to this business and you want to walk this out and you've been around a while now, the first key I want to say to you is there may need to be people that you go back to. And if you've been hearing Steve Merritt's trainings, you can write this down. And you're just going to say, hey, I want to circle back with you and apologize for the word vomit that I gave you over the thing I was really, really excited about. Anyone need to do that? Anyone feel like they, yeah. So do it. Like the best thing you could do in this season is actually go back on a few of the people that you originally were like, they just kind of were like leaning out as you were leaning in, and actually circle back with them. Because if you get really clear with them on, listen, I word vomited over you because I was so excited. 3 months on, I'm more excited than ever, but now I just want to give you 1 or 2 bits of information that have really, really had an impact on people I know and love. Okay, so it's words like that. This is not scripted. It's just sharing how we're noticing someone walking, and often they're frozen because those early rejections came in and they don't know what to do next. So we do want to coach and nudge even those walking this business out. Circle back with 1 or 2 that you just felt like leaned out, but do it with authenticity and do it in a way where you're like, listen, I'm still here. The reason why I want you to do that is if this has no longer been a fad for you and you have gone beyond 3 months in this business, then actually you've outlasted already as a walker 90% of people that just get into these businesses and move out of these businesses in the first 90 days. So I do want those that are walking to celebrate yourself. In fact, give us in the chat, give in the comments below, right, if you've been in this business longer than 90 days, because you're like already successful. Because the thing about, I love that, the thing about this business you've got to understand, and what you're seeing on Facebook and what you're seeing online, is people are bombarded with the newest, shiniest, glitziest, glamorous thing online. So those that last more than 90 days in this business are already holding a credibility, even as a leader, even as a business leader, because you've lasted the distance when everyone's just finding the next big fat loss thing and the next big this and the next that, choosing 10 different things to affiliate with, and you are not doing that. And so you actually need to own as you're walking, because remember, we all get to our goals, whether we're walking or running or sprinting, that actually you still doing this business, even if yet you haven't necessarily done it in, the strong launch way, that is a huge win for you. And for everyone brand new, mark the date of the day you've decided today to start walking this out. Mark 90 days in your calendar and do not give up for at least 90 days. And in this 90 days, as you're walking, we want you to do 1 action step and decide 5 out of 7 days, how many people would you like to reach out to? Just purely reach out to. So we use the model called patch, or share about the patch, revisit, which is the R, so P, R, and O, which is lead them to an opportunity event that is your favorite. So patch is if you're with them and you can get a patch on them, do it. But when you get 1 patch on a person, you don't make any promise. So I love to use this in my brain now. Patch, but don't promise. It's the P's. Because one of the other things I've watched people do is put a patch on someone and overpromise what that patch can do and underpromise what that patch will do in 90 days. So they quote the one patch wonders a lot. so-and-so, my friend Sue got, and I do it too, but my friend Sue, who got an absolute breakthrough in 20 minutes where her bursitis left her body. There was no pain in her body. My friend Sue got that. And then I say, but my friend, and I literally in the same breath, I'll say, but my friend David, who had a autoimmune fibromyalgia, all the things, bedridden for years on and off. It took him about the 5-month mark to really get a breakthrough. And so if you can write this down, we want you to capture or borrow, if you don't have your own story yet, we want you to capture a one patch wonder story like mine. Use my, one of our team called Sue. You can just use that. One of our team called Sue was patched, and within 20 minutes, pain that she'd had for years was gone from her body, bursitis pain. You can even like get light with it and a little fun with it and go, in fact, it was our friend called Vanessa. The pain was in her butt because the gluteal bursitis was in her butt. Vanessa said, I'm not putting the patch there. You go put it there. Like, just have a little bit of lightness with that quick story, right? Sue went and put it on. 20 minutes later, came back in tears that her pain had left her body, and everyone that knew her saw that happen. But our friend Dave, who has fibromyalgia, it was around, because he was 50 years old, it was around that 5-month mark that he started to get some breakthrough. And so because this technology usually regenerates around about 1 month per decade of your life, 1 month of use per decade of your life, and the regeneration will begin to have some real impact. So that's P. I want you to write that down. I want you to write down just 2 stories. If you've got your own, amazing. If you've got family members already, amazing. But use a quick one and use a longer term one. And if you're new, you'll be borrowing a longer term one. If you're with that person and they're willing to take one of your samples, like a patch, it's most powerful if you can offer to put it on, right? Like, because there's just that amazing moment where you just need to, like, that, even that physical impact for a second. Hey, can I just put it on the back of your neck? Or do you have pain anywhere? Hold it out, get ready to give it to them and say, just go pop that on where the pain is. That's the P. We want you to consider that business doesn't start in the training you do. Business starts the second someone comes to mind and you think about this, or you walk out the door and you are shopping at the grocery store, or you are at work, or you are somewhere. This is not something that has to take hours. That P is about 3 minutes long. Katia.
Can I ask a question, or do you want me to wait till later?
No, I want you to interrupt around strategy.
Yeah, so question on that one, when you say, well, if you can put a patch on someone, as you know, I'm just on CorePack, there's not that many patches, but like, how would you do that? Like, it's fine if you get a reaction, within the first patch, but as you say, a lot of the time that won't happen. Like, how long will you keep patching people for, to sort of see a result? Or do you just do one, and if nothing happens, then I'll just move on? Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's perfect around, this is the perfect place to ask the question. So the sample we're talking about is not going to come with promises. If someone is willing to exchange their information so that I can send them the information I'm about to show you, then if they're willing to exchange their information for my $5 patch, because it is at least $5, like, of value, then we basically, in this business, we, even at the core level, we are considering, if you've got core and you're willing to still build the business on a core, obviously you have to upgrade to advanced at some point to maximize commission, but you've got 3 months of product in your hand. But to stay active, you need to order something next month anyway. So we always say, even at Core, one's probably for you, one month might be for a loved one, but that third one, consider it an investment. So here's how we break this down financially, and then I'll tell you what we do with that comment. We break it down by saying, in our experience, and we never had a network marketing group of people ever that we brought into this business. Michelle and Stafford in Canada were some of our earliest partners. They're friends. They lent into this opportunity. They knew we were looking for one of these opportunities. We just didn't have one yet. We'd been dabbled in a few other businesses, but no one from those other businesses barely came over or stayed if they did. So we truly have built our business, and we came to a place we didn't know anyone. We moved back to after 10 years. So we have built our business on this, truly, like patching strangers a lot of the time. So we would say 10 patches is the equivalent of about 50 Australian dollars, a little bit less in Canada, depending on the day of the exchange. If we have patched 10 people, we have made at least 1 to 2 sales. So 20%, always think 20 to 80%. So one patch, so 2 patches. So say we give out 50 patches and we get 2 sales back, even the core, then we've made 35 US on a core pack, and we've made 70 US on 2 core packs. So even patching, you've got to see it like an investment. Here's $50 and I'm going to make back at least 35 US, which is more than whatever, $50. So see it a little bit like that. Does that make sense, everyone? So for 10, you're going to give out, you're going to believe, at least if you follow this system that I'm about to show you, at least 1 to 2 people will be curious enough to order or get back to you and say they're ready to order. And you just might need your sponsor's help to learn how to do that, which is perfect. So give me a wave. How does that feel? Like, just business-wise, how does that feel? Even as you're walking this out, I'm going to invest $50, and maybe you're going to say to yourself, okay, one of those packs, so 30 in a pack, I'm going to use one for me, one for my loved one, and one as samples. And then you trust me around this, never give out more than one. And now I'll answer your question, why? Because one may or may not do anything. But when you start giving out 2 and 3, hoping that it does something at day 2 or day 3, and it doesn't, if it doesn't, they now think, well, 3 days didn't work for me, so why would I invest in 3 months? But one day, you are literally handing it out to a person saying, yeah, we see some quick results with this and some uptake happening in your body. However, I'm giving this to you to show you how easy it is to put a patch on every day. That's the only reason you're giving the patch out to someone, is to say, I want you to see it's not having to take supplements, nothing's being injected. It's as easy as putting on and taking off. I want you to sample this, not for the result, but for the ease of use. And if they've given you their phone number, then I'll show you what we do next to that. If they're not willing to give their phone number, I don't give out a patch.
So, but what about people you do know? You've already got all their details.
Got all their details, but again, if it's people I know, I'm not often sampling people I know. If they're really close, they're going to need to trust the information I share with them. Yeah. This is it info. We'll show you that in a moment, and a presentation. And if I know them and they haven't watched the presentation and they're ready to order, even my closest of friends do not order from us without watching a presentation. Because
so you don't use it for the people you know, essentially.
I mean, we were out to dinner and I said, here, take one for the day and put one on tonight or put one on tomorrow. No, I always, if it's people I know, I make sure I'm putting it on or they're putting it on right there and then. Because if they go and put it in their pocket, for example, and then they haven't used it, it can activate with your own body heat, and I want it to be like on them. I don't want it to just be like maybe activating. So if they say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll say, don't worry, just come back to me when you're ready. But if someone's gone to dinner or we've gone out to dinner and I've got a friend and I know that there's, you know, they're curious, I'll say, listen, put one on right now. Again, we'll circle back with the information with you because it's a friend. I have their information exactly, but I'm always doing it to say, this is how easy it is to patch. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't really do it like if someone's in pain or, you know, that you know, would you kind of, you know, but they may not get the results. I'm very iffy about it, you know, whether it's a smart thing to do. Like I've got another friend with chronic illness, like ME kind of stuff, and you know, sleeps most of the day. And I think there's pain and discomfort. I'm just not sure how to tackle it because I don't want to give false hopes there. So
Yeah, so you're not. That's what I'm trying to say. And we'll move on to the next part. So we're basically saying you are showing a technology, and then you send them the information I'm about to show you, and they have to decide to trust that. Like there's only so much you can do. ME and those chronic things, there's two things that can happen with chronic. Either they get immediate result and it's unbelievable, like it's a real relief for them, or the other thing, the other reason why we don't give 3, 5, or 7 out is because day 3, 5, or 7, they could also detox. And that detox in their body, brilliant thing, but they don't know yet with regenerative technology that detox is a good thing. And so right now we've got someone patching and she's got these headaches. And so in our boards app, which is why I want you set up with everything that you need, I immediately went to my boards app when the husband said my wife's got headaches. And I said, I don't mean to sound harsh here, but that's a really good thing. In regenerative work, that's a really good thing that her body is responding in a way that isn't usual, or she hasn't had those migraines for a long time. And so I'll tell you what example I use. I broke my wrist 10 years ago. Yeah, moving to Canada. First time we ever went skiing, I broke my wrist. Within about 3 weeks of patching, the pain in my wrist was like the day I broke it. So I rang my friend and said, like, what's going on? And she said, that's called retracing. And we have this all in our boards app under the word products and frequently asked questions. And so it's called retracing, and it means that part of your body is actually getting some deep healing happening quickly. Within about 3 days, and it was painful, like really painful. Within about 3 days, the pain had gone. And for the first time in 10 years, I was able to open cans that I wasn't able to open because it actually did some healing and strengthened it. But this information is on thisisitinfo.com, the main site that now we're going to finish up by telling the second thing you're going to do is send them thisisitinfo.com. And we want your homework to be is you have to know this website. You need to have watched video 1, video 2, video 3, and even just work your way through the front page of that information site. It is literally your sales site. The third video is the regenerative doctor talking about stem cells, what regenerative medicine does, and why X39 has been a game changer in his field. Every single person that you even send a patch to or get patching, they need to watch that, because in there he references retracing and detoxing and why people shouldn't be scared of it. And so when that man says my wife is having a detox, I send him the information we have about retracing, but then I send back this is it info, and I circle that video and I say, what, make sure she watches this one, because you are building the belief system of regenerative work, because regenerative technology is so unobvious to a body that is used to quick fixes. And so you are definitely building belief. When you send thisisit.info.com, you also have to remember it's still a big website full of a lot of information. And so what you're going to do once you have connected with a prospect, patched them, or at least somewhere told them about the patches, when you send them thisisit.info.com, and you want to say to them, hey, what interested you about that site? What questions do you have? Let's circle back for a quick call. If they haven't had time because people are super busy, the next step I want you to do is go on to thisisit.info.com and just send them the first video, what is photo light therapy? And so then now you're going to spend, because most marketing of people, it takes up to 15 touch points, as we know in marketing, for someone maybe to really actually, this is no different. So we're not overwhelming you. We're just saying, as you're walking this pace out, just understand all you're going to do is create a little system of follow-up where if someone says, I've been too busy to watch that look through that whole website, you just find one of the videos on that website or one of the testimonies on the testimony page of that website and say, no problem, you don't have 30 minutes, take 3 minutes. Just at least let me start to give you a little bit of essential information so that I can help you make a decision. Does that feel like, again, this is all just 2 minutes, 3 minutes. In the word follow up on the Boards app, and again, anyone that doesn't have the Boards, does anyone not have the Boards app downloaded on their phone? Anyone not? Okay. So if we're your personal sponsor, please reach out to me. We're going to get you set up with the Boards app, because if you are walking this business out and you literally are time poor, and so you've only got, let's say, like 15 minutes a day on this business, you even more need to have that Boards app written down big up on your phone, because you want to be able to send quick information. The last thing I want to say is on that Boards app under follow up. So if you go to scripts and templates under follow up, one of the questions you're going to ask, and we train people to ask, is, hey, scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to order? And someone might just text back, and I'm looking at some of these beautiful, like, young mums. Sarah, how many children do you have over there in Ottawa, Sarah? She's going to get off. Hang on. She's on mute.
My unmute didn't want to come up. I have 5 kids.
5 children. On the way through, like, it's 5 minutes, it's 3 minutes, it's in between the kids, it's all the rest of it. And so what we're saying to you is, you want to do quick follow-ups. The more that you can voice message people, if you can't call them, the better, so they hear your voice. But all you want to be saying is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to order? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. They might say 3 or 4. What information can I help you with that might move you towards more readiness? 8 or 9. What information do you need? So they're going to say, I need more studies, I need more data, I need more this, I need more that. So then you're not going to pull, and this is the last thing I want to say to walkers, do not pull information from everywhere else. Don't go, oh, I saw that testimony on that website, and I saw this on this website, and I saw this on this website. Because anywhere you pulled some information from, if they have to go and share it with someone, they won't know where you got that information from. So stick to thisisit.info.com. Go yourself, look at every video. I guarantee you haven't. It took me 6 months before I went, man, I don't even know what's in This Is It info at the level that I should know, because I'm just sending it and it was working. But I wanted to know more. I wanted to see the video with David Schmidt, and it's 10 minutes long, and it's why I chose direct selling. It's on there. I wanted to see the testimonies on children, and I wanted to weep again at the impact this has. So at this point, there is nowhere else you need to go because you don't have time. You want to keep being in thisisit.info.com and pull that apart to keep nurturing these leads. Is that good? And then lastly, pick a opportunity call. So either go to ours, which you'll see it on dreamteam.community. You'll see our resources. Choose one call that you have liked, which means in the next week or two, you might need to invest while you're running around doing your life, listen into a few opportunity calls. They're all recorded. Ours are on our YouTube. And This Is It's on This Is It Team YouTube. Pick one or two that you really like, maybe a short one and a longer one. And when someone is ready for more information, send them that one. Because again, while you're walking this out and you've got 5 or 10 minutes a day, you want the system to do the heavy lifting for you. And you're looking for someone's hunger and lean in to that as well. So that's the last thing. That's called O. When it comes to opportunity, you need to expose people to an opportunity call, because I guarantee at the end of an opportunity call, they're no longer just thinking about themselves. They're now thinking about the grandkid, the friend, the this, the that. They're no longer thinking just about themselves. If you don't expose them to an opportunity call, what happens is they'll just order thinking about themselves and not realizing actually there might be a community of people they could impact, and then they could also turn it into a business. So that's the really simple few tools that you need. So you want to have boards downloaded on your phone so you can get 1 or 2 scripts just ready to go. You want to invest a few patches if you're with someone in person, 1 patch per person, and just use them as a sample. And you want to have chosen 1 or 2 opportunity calls already recorded, unless you've also launched somewhere in the past. And you want to make sure that's ready to send someone. Just before we shift gears to team runners, because there's a few team runners on, but I wanted them to hear how we're coaching the walkers. Any pressing question that you might have on this, even just put it in the chat right now. Okay, awesome. The answer to can I invite other people to this? If you have a brand partner that's not quite open yet to fully sharing, but wants to know the basics around the business and sharing, yes, Team Walkers is for them, because we're going to pace them out so they don't feel overwhelmed. The second thing you can do, and it doesn't work for Canadian time as much right now with the time change, I know, is you can put anyone on those it's called Launch Lab. It's at midday Brisbane time, 4 days a week. You can put them in Launch Lab, because we're treating people there like treating as in like coaching people who don't yet have their first 4 orders. So they hear from amazing people and how they're doing it and what kind of things they're saying and role play out. And so you basically have Team Walkers group to put any new brand partner on that's just learning, as long as they're ready. If they're not ready to share yet, don't put them here. You just nurture them until they're ready to share. One of the other tricks to helping people learn to share is put them on an opportunity call, and just, or if they're having a testimony, let us know, and we'll have them, sorry, it's my Wi-Fi. We'll have them share on an opportunity call, because they may not even realize there's this amazing community where they're telling stories and they're also learning. So just walk people out, right, if they're not ready. But yes, people are welcome on here as long as they're a brand partner. If they're curious, they can't be on here yet until they've become a brand partner. So that is just some Team Walker coaching for today. I'm just going to press stop on this.